Hey guys, I'm Armin van Buuren here at Tomorrowland Winter, and I'm ready for my first cable cast. I'm about to hit the ski lift, so join me.
Excellent. Welcome to the One World Radio Cablecast.
So am I pressing this one or not?
No, it's all good, you man. This is it. This is
it.
Just enjoy the silence for 2 seconds. It's good to see you, friend.
Yeah, it's good to see you too, man.
So look, we've got about 10 minutes before we get to the top, and it's just nice to take this moment away from like the craziness of a dance floor or a radio studio and just appreciate the surroundings we're in, right? Because it's good. It's good to do that.
Yeah, absolutely.
So the last time that we spoke in depth, it was balance. So kind of like, I want you to sort of fill in the gaps sort of since then, because you've been on a relentless journey of both music and I think a personal journey as well. Is that fair to say?
Yeah, I think I mean, as bad as Corona was for everybody, I think in a way just having a gap of not performing really made me realize a couple of things, how important family is and stuff.
Yeah.
I mean, it's pretty cliche, but I really needed that break.
Yeah.
I needed a break to sort of, because I was chasing my own tail in a way. And it made me make some radical choices in my life, also regarding my career. I mean, I was at the point where I thought, how can I feel so unhappy sometimes when I have everything that I want? I have a beautiful family, I have a beautiful house, I drive a nice car, I have a great career, I have a great company, and sometimes I just feel shit. Why do I feel shit? And I really dive deep into that, and found out some bits that needed some attention in myself, and it was really good to be to have some time to really figure it out and to really come back to what I really love and what I really want to do. So I also rediscovered my love for music. I mean, it's never been away, but because I was just constantly touring, constantly on the road, constantly with deadlines and jet lags, and as beautiful as this life of a top DJ may seem, because I'm very blessed, it also has a downside that we are now starting to slowly, I'm talking about mental health, I'm talking about pressure, I'm talking about all that sort of stuff, and it's difficult to open up about that, because I know that maybe the image that I've held up for many years has been the image of goody two shoes.
But look, that openness, I think I personally have appreciated it, because it's allowed me to connect even deeper with you, even though I've not been with you at that time. So I'm representing everyone else that you don't know on the same level. Does that make sense? Because you've let us in, and you've become more of a friend by doing that. Does that make sense?
Well, I'm happy to hear that, because it's being vulnerable is probably the scariest thing that you can do, but also the best thing I've ever done. So I've opened up to a lot of my colleagues as well, and I said, look, sometimes I just don't like my job, and I'm ashamed to say it, because look around you, look where we are. This is what we do for a living. I mean, how can you not like it? And so it's tough, but it made me realize a couple of things. I'm heavily into meditation now. I mean, if you would have said that to me 2 years ago, I would have laughed you straight in the face.
And what kind? Do you mind me asking? Is it like
I'm using a nap.
Yeah.
So 10 to 15 minutes a day, and it really grounds me, and it really makes me. I guess it all boils down to, and I know this sounds really strange maybe, but it boils down to not enough self-love.
Yeah.
I wasn't really loving myself enough. And
you didn't have time, I wouldn't, if you don't mind me saying so.
Sorry?
I don't think you had time.
No, exactly. I was always thinking that I had to please all the people around me and had to be nice to everybody. I was doing a lot of gigs that I didn't want to do. I was making records I didn't want to make. And that's all in the past now.
That's interesting. So I've got loads of questions, but you just talk about your music.
Yeah.
Records you don't want to make. I don't want you to identify them. What I want you to do is talk to me about the music you've made since we've last spoken. And here we are at a festival. So of all the music that you've made, and there is so much, which one track stands above all others as the one you've been most excited to play at a festival like this?
Well, recently I did one with, it's about the war. It's called Stop War, Start Raves, Make Love. Or Stop War, Let's Rave, Make Love. And another song is coming out soon. It's a very personal song. It's called Feel Again.
Right.
And it's a song about really trying to be in the moment, which is, out of all the things I've done in my life, being in the moment is probably the hardest thing to do. And it gives you, that's what life is about. Because, you know, my mind, the monkey in my mind is constantly racing about the next gig or the next radio show, the next release, the next, you know, person I need to call, or, you know, my WhatsApp, did I answer all my messages? And yeah, it was, it's a newfound Armin, for sure. And I'm much more at peace with myself, for sure.
I noticed that. I'm thinking, if you don't, hope you don't mind me saying so, I get that there's a confidence, a newfound confidence.
Yeah.
However, I spoke with you just before, and we talked about keeping in touch with DJs, and then you said, because obviously you've not seen them, so you tell me how you've been keeping in touch with your friends, and, you know, instead of bumming into each other at festivals like this at Tomorrowland Winter, how have you spoken and kept in touch with your friends and DJs?
I just reached out. I reached out to a lot of the Dutch DJs that I know, and a lot of the English DJs as well. And
how did you do that, though?
Just WhatsApp, you know, Zoom.
So Zoom, that was the one you said you made like Zoom rooms, and so talk to me a little bit about that, because that sounds awesome. Yeah,
well, I figured that being vulnerable, you know, first to a few DJs and then just opening up and telling my story, that it was really helpful to a lot of other DJs as well. And I think we're at the point now where it's important that we start to open up about mental health and the darker side of this DJ life. Don't get me wrong, the gigs are great. I mean, I played yesterday in the evening. I played here at Tomorrowland. It was absolutely amazing. It's not the gigs, it's the pressure towards the gigs, it's the traveling, it's the jet lag, it's the being away from home. It's about not having your routine, and you can do that for a couple of years, but you know, at the end of the day, we're all human beings. We want family, we want that security, and to open up about that, it was the toughest thing I ever had to do. Saying like, I kind of lost it. You know, I'm not happy, and how can I not be happy? I was really confused about that, and talking to my colleagues really opened me up, because a lot of them said, you know, I've experienced the same. And so I think we're only at the beginning of this whole new process of opening up about mental health, and it's super important. Also, I mean, non-DJs, people listening to this podcast, your mental health is priority number one. And today's society, with, you know, all the fake reality, Instagram, for example, or Facebook, as much as I love them, they're fake realities. They're not real, you know. So
let's just end it on be well. Yeah, because
be well.
Be well.
It's important. Well. Enjoy life. That's what we're going to do.
Can we do this again next year?
Yeah, for sure.
You got to get your skis. Give me that microphone.
Yeah.
So that's One World Radio. That is the Cablecast with Armin van Buuren. He's off to ski. Don't go too fast.
No, don't worry.
Tread carefully. Look out for everyone. And we'll see you soon. Lots of love.
Whoops.